Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I've been thinking lately about the state of the world and the wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and the tragedies in Darfur, and I want to propose this idea that I have of starting a global peace movement. If we could start communicating with each other, since on the YouTube site there is a global potential to come together and talk about a solution to make the world a more peaceful place to live in. I read this book a little while ago about Geniocracy, this idea of a government made of science, genius, and love, and I think it's a wonderful idea. If anyone is interested in reading that book, it's an electronic book. The guy who has it is Marvin, username Oil Bongo on the YouTube site. So you can message him if you're interested in reading this book. He can probably email it to you. There was a part of the book that was about abolishing national flags and designing a world flag, which I think is a great idea because it would create a feeling of unity in the world. I think in this world there is a problem in which everyone in different cultures is separated from everybody else. Based on the way the governments are run, we have a perception of each country which isn't an overall true view of what the people in each country are like. Some countries are democracies, some are dictatorships, and depending on where we live, we have a perception or opinion of each of those things. Dictatorships aren't favorable, of course, because it doesn't give people freedom to vote or let them have a say for the future of their country. Democracy is the favorite one of the two, since it gives the right to vote and gives people a sense of peace and security for the most part. Look at the state of the world it's in today. The wars, they're just such a mess right now. Soldiers have been fighting in Afghanistan since 2001, in Iraq since 2003, and things are just getting worse. Sometimes it seems like there's just no end in sight. We think that if we live in a free society, we should be able to talk about the state of the world and voice an anti-war stance. But from what I've heard some people say, well, not on the YouTube site, but on some other sites I've been on back in like 2003, 2004. It seems like people who take the anti-war side are put down, talked down to, and being told that they are wrong no matter what they say. I think since 2001 we have been robbed of our freedom of speech. Not that we can't voice our opinions, but that we are told that we are wrong if we disagree about going into a war. So it puts a feeling of fear into people who want to talk about an anti-war stance. And I think that is very sad, because I think everybody has a right to be heard. I also thought this idea of non-violent weapons called paralyzing waves was interesting as well. But that's getting a little off topic, because I want to talk about peace and how we can bring peace to the world. What can we do as a society to make the world more peaceful? Can we organize marches, write letters to Congress, things like that. Now, some people might ask, why should they take responsibility for the world to make it a better place? I think since we all live in this world, we have a responsibility for it. It's our future. Whether it's war or global warming, it can affect the future of our planet. I think the world needs big change to make the world a more peaceful place. So I'm asking all of you YouTubers out there, maybe you blog, maybe you don't, but if you like this idea of starting a peace movement and want to talk about how we can do something for the world to make it a more peaceful place to live in, please respond, and let's start connecting with each other to talk about the state of the world and discuss ideas of how we can make it a more peaceful place to live in. And I hope to hear from you. Peace out.